Father, the sleeper has awakened!
Up next, I'm going to make Russ talk about Dune.
It was a nightmare.
Up next, we're going to talk about Dune. The new 2021 film is coming out this week. It's already been announced in 4K. The Arrow release of the David Lynch version's been out. We can take a look at a few of those screenshots. So Russ, the new Dune film is out this Friday in theaters, and it's also already out for streaming. It's, I think, coming out simultaneously. Even though Denis Villeneuve and pretty much anyone that's seen this movie is like, you got to see it in the theater. It was made for the theater. It's this IMAX experience that you can't miss. Watch it at home if you want, but if you really want to see what this man's trying to do, go see it in the theater.
Get a time machine and go back to 1985.
When we did it was before the pandemic, of course. And the plan was to do a love letter to the big screen. We shot the movie for something big and wide. Safety first, we understand that. But if it's safe, if you want to have a great experience, a great big screen, immersive with great sound experience, I think that's a movie you won't be disappointed, I guess. Yeah.
I'm with him. I understand it. I understand these directors.
If you're the artist,
and you grew up and you're a director, you clearly care about this stuff so much. You went into that profession. I understand you lamenting the loss of the theater going experience. What is he going to do? What are people, or young kids are going to get off YouTube? Dude, the theaters are dying.
I'm going to go see it in the theater.
Thank you very much.
Are you really?
I think I might.
Why?
Sure the hell of it. I haven't been in the theater in years, and this sounds like maybe the movie to go check it out.
Thank you very much.
Or maybe I'll just stream it on HBO Max and do Denis Villeneuve a disservice.
I'm not going to watch it at all, but I'm going to stream it just to piss off Denis.
It's out this week. Please see it in the theater.
Nobody saw the original in the theater.
I know they did. That's why it's dead. Poor David Lynch. That didn't help him at all. The Arrow releases are finally out, and the Coke Media releases will be coming out as well. The Media Book and the Steelbook versions. However, the Deluxe Ultimate version that we had previously talked about is being pushed back until next year, unless you're in Europe and you already pre-ordered, which if you did, let us know below. And if you get one, send us a message and tell us how it is, because it looks insane, that new glass acrylic box.
It does look really cool.
Like, they're just, again, great German company doing everything they can to make these releases really great. So at the same time, Germany is the first country to announce the 2021 version of Dune in 4K also. They have a regular release and a Steelbook release. They're going to be putting this movie out on December 23rd. So about 2 months after it hits the theater, it will be out on home media, at least in Germany, as well as Spain. So Spain's getting it a week later, December 30th, but there is no release date for the US at this point in time. Then if you go over to the UK, where Frank Herbert's Dune miniseries is apparently beloved.
I was about to say, that's not Timothée Chalamet.
That is not Timothée Chalamet at all, but the miniseries is apparently beloved over in the UK, and they're getting their own 3-disc special edition of that release via IMC Vision. That actually came out last week, like October 11th or something, and it's some 3-disc special edition.
I have a question for you. Has there ever been another property in cinema history that consistently fails
and keeps getting milked
and keeps
for more failures?
Yeah.
I think people are just dying to get this material right. There are people that are dying to get it right. And again, going back to this new 2021 version, just looking at some of the reviews that I've seen, it's obviously long. It's obviously an epic. They're likening it to Lord of the Rings, likening it to Star Wars, that kind of a feeling. But the reviews are basically like, this is the definitive version of Dune. Like, people that are tried and true fans of Dune, love the novels, love whatever is out there for Dune, they really are saying, like, this is the best possible representation of the material that we could have ever gotten, regardless of if you think the movie's too long or even like Dune at all. Like, that's what it is.
Thank you very much.
It's funny. I felt that way about Blade Runner 2049.
To do a sequel to Blade Runner was an insane idea.
Not that it was, like, great or anything, but honestly, I was thinking, if you have to live in a world where a Blade Runner sequel exists, I can't imagine it being any better than what we got. So, I mean, Denis Villeneuve.
My name is Denis Villeneuve.
That sounds correct.
Yeah.
That's probably what it is.
And honestly, that's kind of why I'm interested in seeing it in the theater, because like you said, I'm a huge fan of his work. And his work, no matter what, always just seems so large.
I'm starting to fall out with
Are
him.
you?
Yeah.
Based on something he's done recently, or just his choices?
Two things he's done recently. He's basically falling into the Marvel trap, only he's not doing Marvel films. My whole beef with filmmakers like this is that they get sucked into a machine.
Not doing original property?
Thank you. Yes. He did 2 things in a row now that have been pre-existing material that he's too talented. I don't want to see him do something that already failed. I want to see him do Arrival. I want to see him do Prisoners. I want to see him do Giant Spider. I want to see things like that.
That Giant Spider freaked me out.
To me, it's a very interesting filmmaker who, because of what the industry has become, he's now relegated to doing remakes.
But do you think he's relegated, or do you think he's like, I want to redo these properties, and I've got the wherewithal and the money at my disposal to do it? Because I actually think he's going to be doing more of these Dune movies, honestly.
Exactly. He's stuck. So if you're a fan of his...
But do you think he's stuck, or do you think he's doing what he wants to do?
I'm not saying anybody's a phony. I don't think Jon Favreau is phony for working on The Mandalorian. But no, I don't think Jon Favreau, when he wrote Swingers or when he did Made and all that, I don't think he got into filmmaking to make a Star Wars television show. And I don't think Denis Villeneuve got into filmmaking to do a remake of Dune.
Do you want to see what Denis Villeneuve is doing on Dune?
No. This is going to be forgotten in 2 years.
Maybe, maybe not.
This isn't Lord of the Rings.
Come back to us in 2 years. This channel, mark us. Has Dune become a worthwhile trilogy that people cite as one of the best sci-fi features of our time?
Blade Runner has more pop culture cachet than Dune. Villeneuve did a sequel to that. Is anybody talking about 2049 right now?
No, but people want Dune. They want it. They didn't want
people
Blade
want
Runner.
Blade Runner.
They didn't want 2049, did they?
Oh God, we got Drax in it too.
Oh, he's there.
Oh, that's right. He was in Blade Runner. Yeah, I guess he's cool with Villeneuve. I mean, I see what you're saying, and I agree. Yes, this is high production value, but who gives a shit if it's forgettable and no one cares? I don't care how much money you pump.
It doesn't sound like it's forgettable, at least in the initial reviews. We'll see. I mean, you have a valid point. I mean, I definitely think that there's a lot of stuff these days, whether it be movies, music, any kind of media, that just like it's gone in the matter of like a month or two, or not gone, but maybe forgotten, because everybody's like, what's the next thing? And this could definitely fall into that trap for sure.
Isaac guy's in it too.
Josh Brolin.
I will not be watching this.
There he is, big old beard.
He sucks too. He does. I don't care. I don't care what Coen Brothers movie you're in. You suck.
Yeah.
I am a big fan of Drax, surprisingly, though. I'm a fan of that dude. I love him in interviews. He's just made statements about, like, The Rock and John Cena, and I like what he said. He's like, yeah, I know I'm a wrestler. He's like, I don't want to do what those guys are doing. I want to be a serious actor, and I want to work with directors like Villeneuve. And I like that he's he's publicly saying that.
Yeah.
He could easily just say that behind the scenes and keep doing it, but he's like, no, I'm going to make this distinction that I am an actor, not a wrestler.
Let's take at least a last final look at what the most recent Arrow 4K had come out. Do you want to take a look and see how that's looking versus the Blu-ray? Maybe that'll change your mind.
It's just, to me, this is a reminder of the state of films, and it depresses me. Just like Sting is a reminder of
so here's Sting.
Pieces and
so this is the Blu-ray version of Dune, and this is him in 4K. It very much so reminds me of Halloween. I was about to say the same thing. Yeah. Yep. They kind of tone down that oversaturation. They kind of make everyone's skin tone look more natural. The finer details come in a little bit better. Again, hair is always, I feel like, noticeable.
The Blu-ray looks like Sting's wearing lipstick.
It does,
compared to the 4K.
You're right, exactly. This is a shot of Kyle MacLachlan in the desert right before he jumps on that sandworm. Here's the Blu-ray, and again, we're out in the desert. It's a little washed out. It's kind of orangey. I wonder how this is going to look in the 4K, so let's find out. Right? So it's like the same thing. It just tones it down.
And like I said, while I raved about this on Halloween, I know next to nothing about Dune, so I can't honestly say. For me, it works in Halloween's favor due to the naturalism that Halloween is going for. From what I know of Dune, it's a sci-fi fantasy where, I don't know, maybe that pop helps the movie.
True.
I don't know. Let us know in the comments. But I will say, that just the work they did, it looks great.
Yeah, no, that's a good point. Like, I don't know if fans of this movie are, like we've said before, used to the movie looking a certain way and want it to remain a certain way. And this is now detracting for them. Like, with no frame of reference at all, it just looks like things are cleaned up. Things become a little bit more natural and definitely crisper too, and a lot more detail. But here's another shot. Blu-ray. and then 4K. So yeah, everybody's got like a blue sort of hue on them, and now they just look like their natural skin tone. You know, it's like, it looks like there's a little bit more detail and texture on these outfits, and again, insane production value. All right, here we go. Here's a sandworm. Sandworm coming out of the sand. Here's the Blu-ray. Oh, and there's the 4K. Even the sandworm looks more natural, Russ. Look at the sandworm skin tones.
Sandworm looks more natural.
Look at the sandworm skin tones.
Looks like a real sandworm.
I know.
Finally.
The texture on the sandworm skin. Look at the pores. That looks good. And a little lightning blast. Kind of now, you can see like it's not just one color of orange. Everything looks a little different. Like the sand's a different color, but the orange lightning bolt kind of is a little nicer. So that looks really nice, actually.
The transfer looks impeccable.
Impeccable. I'm going to pick it up. I'm just kidding. I'm not going to pick this up. Yeah, I think overall that is a good upgrade. And for those of you Dune fans that are out there, if you check this movie out in the theater, come back to this video, leave us a comment below. Let us know how it was. I do plan on checking this out, hopefully in the theater too, and maybe I'll do an update on what my thoughts were. But support physical media. Support movie theaters. Support Denis Villeneuve.